What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video. We're starting this video out a little different than we normally would. We're currently in the dually right now. I kind of want to just film a couple driving clips and just talk about the things that I dislike about the dually and things that I want to do to fix it, and then things that I do like. Just a super short segment, and it's not going to be all talking in this video, but I never got you guys like a good driving clip or like an overview of the truck in its current state. So I'm going to the gym right now, so I'll talk some of the stuff over as I'm on my way to the gym, and we'll go over some other stuff too. I should probably also mention that we literally put the truck together and then haven't touched it since. So like nothing is completely done. The truck is just drivable, and so I've been trying to put miles on it so I can find the things that I don't like about it and things that I want to change before we like permanently set things in stone. So yeah, so nothing's really too different in terms of like things that have been done. So for starters, this has got to go. This thing rattles like crazy and it drives me insane. So the one thing I love about this is the brakes. These brakes are so good. I barely apply the brake and this thing will stop on a dime. The Hydro Boost stuff is super good. If you have a first gen Cummins and you haven't went to Hydro Boost and you're still vacuum booster, I 100% suggest that you do. The difference between a Hydro Boost brake feel versus the vacuum booster brake feel in the first gens is insanely different. The brakes are so much better. I feel so much more confident in the brakes because they stop when they're supposed to. Another thing, the steering in this thing is amazing. I can literally put my index finger here and steer this thing to lock to lock. It's amazing. That's definitely got to be by far one of the most surprising, probably one of my favorite things of this combo in this truck. So in tune 1 on the anteater, you can see here, the truck is very like lazy, which is how I kind of want it to be when I'm just cruising around. You'll see that it shifts very early and kind of just lays over. So I kind of did a pull right there because there were some people standing outside, so had to give them a little pull. But normally it would be very lazy, and it was just then. You could tell the truck was very loaded up pretty much throughout the entire course of the power band. So tune 3, the shift points are set out much farther apart, and the truck actually revs out and spools out. I just don't like to drive it in that setting because the shifting, the downshift is pretty hard right there, which is kind of nice. I'll also use this for towing as well, because the downshifts will kind of act as like an engine brake, which it basically is. So you'll see here, much more revved out, not nearly as loaded up. And the truck likes that a lot more. The converter, I think, locks late in second gear on in that tune. The tune 2 I almost never use because it's second gear lockup as soon as it gets into second gear, and one, that's not really good for the trans, and two, there's no real reason for me to use it. I originally put it on there because I thought it was sick, but I really don't want to break the truck. So one of my other complaints is how loose the steering is. That's just an old steering box, not really anything to do with the truck itself. So definitely want to get some good steering in this thing, but you guys will see in a later video why I haven't messed with the steering on it. The body roll is super bad because the sway bar bushings up front are toast. The practicality of this shifter ended up actually being much better than I ever imagined it to be. It's really not as inconvenient as you would have like a column shift. Super nice, super easy. Another thing that I didn't even think to mention is the truck is still open downpipe. I've yet to put an exhaust on it for a few different reasons. A couple of them being things that I just haven't decided on yet. And so I've been waiting for the truck to go to its next stage before I build an exhaust for it. It's not as bad as you would expect a truck to be that's open downpipe. It's pretty bearable, but it's definitely way louder. And the smoke just billows out from under the truck and gets everything underneath it coated. So that's kind of a downside. Also see the interior is pretty toast. That is the next thing on the list to get knocked out. Just left the gym. Drive this. So now we're on the freeway, and there's a couple things I dislike. One, we're going about 65 or 70 right now, and it's pretty wrapped out in the RPM. Once you really get going, like 80 mile an hour, it's pretty revved out. I don't know if we need a re-gear or just go to a taller tire and see if that helps some. The other thing is all of the wind noise. Most of it is this wing window is like a plexiglass one, and it leaks. And then that door over there, the striker's not far enough in, and I don't think the door's sealing. So need to fix up some of these wind noises, get an exhaust on it, and get this thing to be able to rev out not as high, and it'll be dialed on the freeway. Everything else is perfect. All right, so we just got out here with the truck. We went over kind of all the things that I dislike and like about it. That's kind of everything. There's a few other things like the front tires, the belts are kind of warped, so it shakes a little bit, but I haven't replaced them yet for reasons that we'll cover in another video. I'm gonna start getting these guys unloaded for a future project coming up soon. These things are heavy as hell. 14 bolt full floater rear and a 44 front, fully dressed, so they are very heavy. So I was just cleaning up all this junk that needs to go in the trash from this thing and stuff from when we built the dually. So that was all sitting back here, so I needed to get to the hoist. All right, got the axles in their places. Obviously gonna put these up on stands, start dissecting them and getting them cleaned up and rebuilding them, but I will go over all this stuff in another video. Probably the next one, hopefully sooner than later, but yeah. All right, so that's pretty much all I wanted to cover in this video. Just wanted to briefly go over all the stuff on the dually, and that is because we're going to be starting the next stage on it here soon, and that is basically fine-tuning everything that I don't like about it and finishing up all the odds and ends stuff that just didn't get done, stuff I talked about obviously. And yeah, so I just wanted to make that video, that way it wasn't like, hey, the truck's done, oh by the way, now we're tearing it back apart again. So hopefully this video was good for the people that are wondering. I know that most people probably aren't going to watch this and like the video. This would be more so for people that are actually doing the build themselves. So with that being said, I'll see you guys in the next one.